Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Wow, so much to talk about, so little time to talk about it all. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. You know, one of the reasons this committee has requested this information from you is because the administration has refused repeatedly to provide any data on who is actually paying for the Affordable Care Act. In fact, one White House spokesman told reporters to ask your industry for this information. So here's the question for you. Do you currently provide any information to the administration on who has paid for their plan? If yes, what information do you provide, and how is it provided, and how often? Do you provide any information to the administration?
The only information we provide around payment is related to the invoicing we do with the government to get the premium tax credit.
And how is it provided, and how often?
It's the process we described earlier. It's a workaround process because the financial management module is not fully constructed on the FFM.
And who do you send it? Who do you send it to, Mr. Wing?
Send it to CMS.
Okay. Well, it's a little confusing. So the administration will pay your industry a subsidy for potential customers who never even effectuate their enrollment. So if you're not providing the details to the administration on who's paying for the Affordable Care Act, how are they paying you? What are they basing their payments to you on?
I'd only make one clarification. We do not submit information for payment from the government for members who are not effectuated, who haven't made their own portion of the binder payment. We do not do that.
Well, let me dig a little deeper then. So how do you get paid? How do you get paid, and what is that based on? What information do you provide the government, the administration, that gets you paid?
The process essentially works because we have the enrollment file information. We understand the premium for the plan selected by the consumer on that enrollment file.
So you're paid based on enrollment, not on actual payment?
We understand the member's responsibility on that enrollment, and the difference between the premium rate and the member responsibility tells us what the government is, and we roll that figure up monthly.
So if you only submit for effectuated, I can't even pronounce that word, doesn't the administration know the pay rate? Don't they know how much these people are paying?
Yes, sir. They've determined the subsidy eligibility as part of the enrollment process. And so a file would come to us. We bill for the member responsibility. Upon collection of that member responsibility, then we would typically, if the system we're working has designed, we would send a file to the government, to the exchange, saying, here are the members that have effectuated enrollment, and here's ultimately the payment that is back due to us.
So do you believe the administration is currently able to report the payment rate or who is fully enrolled? Do you think they have that information based on what you give them?
So to date, the payments that are coming back and forth are estimated. So there's not been a direct reconciliation between our company and the exchange on a member-by-member basis. That's one of the works in progress that we discussed on the back-end discussion we had earlier in the day, sir.
Considering then that the administration is able to report who selects a plan on healthcare.gov, would it be possible for them to gather information on who has actually paid for a plan? Let's start down with Mr. Pratt.
Representative, it's my understanding that that capability is not present yet. I'm not sure whether it may be in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my understanding as well that that capability isn't ready yet.
Mr. Wingle?
I don't know what the administration can infer from the data they have, but I know the financial management module itself is not available.
Mr. Ivanko?
One bit of color I'll add to my colleagues is the submission for APTC is only for those that are APTC eligible, so there's also people that do not qualify for that should be in that calculation.
Okay. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, I think my colleagues are correct in their statements, and we're still working on the reconciliation process for payment.
Okay. Mr. Mathias?
I would concur with previous
Okay.
statements.
Final question. Does the administration know who's paid for their plan? Mr. Pratt?
Congressman, I don't know the answer to that question.
Mr. Coyne?
I don't know either.
I don't know what the administration knows about the enrollment in terms of who's paid.
I don't know either.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's interesting that they sent us to ask you folks. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.